What a lovely spot.
What a lovely spot. It's not pristine,
No.
but it's still beautiful.
Where are we, Thunder, and what are we doing here?
Today, Ryan, we are in the Gong, Wollongong, in the beautiful Illawarra. We've got the steelworks over there. We're seeing the coal ships going back and forth. Great place, not pristine. I'm meeting Darryl. He's an engineer and a coal worker. And Ali, local mum. Both of them want offshore wind here for all the benefits it's going to bring to the community.
Fabulous. We're just staying here for a bit longer, though.
Let's just stay and look at the steelworks, eh? Whoop, there's another coal ship.
Take one. Who are you? Where are we? And why am I interviewing you?
I'm Darryl Best. I am a retired coal miner. I worked all my life in coal mines. So we're in Port Kembla in the Illawarra region. I think you're interviewing me because I come from a fossil fuel background and I now really see the need to move away from that, but do it so that we also protect all the people who work in fossil fuel industries. So that we just don't dump them, we provide industries and jobs for them to transition into.
I'm Ali Gerritsen and we're on beautiful Darryl country in the city of Wollongong, and you're interviewing me because I've got 2 young children and I want a safe and happy planet for them to live on.
Yeah, are you ready for some quick fire questions?
Oh, I am fired up.
Offshore wind, is it good for whales, biodiversity and local communities or not?
It is.
So what's better for our kids' future and family security in the Illawarra? Is it offshore wind or coal?
Offshore wind?
What's better for whales and biodiversity, green energy or fossil fuels?
Green energy.
Using cheaper, safe renewables now or delaying with older, polluting fossil fuels and using expensive nuclear later on?
I think I'd rather renewables now.
So would I. We've got wind farms on land and we've got solar. Why do we need offshore wind turbines?
Why don't we get the energy expert on the line? Ty Christopher is going to have the answer to that.
G'day, Thunder.
G'day, Ty. Hey, mate, I've got Ryan here. He's got a couple of questions for you. Can you hit it?
Go for it.
G'day, Ty. Tell me, why do we need offshore wind farms?
We need really large generators, gigawatt scale, to serve our industry, especially steel manufacturing, aluminium smelting, and our big cities.
Okay, so if we want to run industry on green energy, we need industrial size green solutions.
That's right. And we also need those industrial size green solutions to be there more of the time. The beauty of offshore wind is the wind out to sea blows almost continuously. Running the grid is this delicate balance all the time of making sure there's enough generation there to meet everybody's needs literally on a second-by-second basis. If you take the steelworks in Port Kembla as an example, each day it uses more electricity than every single home in all of the Illawarra. That's 130,000 homes. So even if you had every home completely covered with solar and all of it pumping out all of the time, it still wouldn't be enough to supply our big industry. And this is where we need other technologies, larger scale generation, that's going to be there all the time, like offshore wind.
Can't we just put more turbines on land?
Yes, we could, but the big challenge we've got is we'll think of ourselves in Australia as rough, tough bushies, but the reality is we're all thin-blooded coasties. And where we need to use our electricity is where we all live, which is a thin strip around the coast of Australia. Offshore wind puts that big scale generation within very close proximity, say 30 kilometres from where we're actually going to need to use the power.
Well, that makes a whole lot more sense.
Got it?
I got it.
Got it.
Thanks so much, Ty. I appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I need one of them.
Hell yeah.
There's a segue into a segue.
What do you love about this place?
What I really love about it is it's got this wonderful escarpment up there, and 2 kilometres away is the ocean. And so all these little towns, they're all joined together in this big 14-kilometre long stretch of land that is just delightful. And it's a really diverse community, but it's also just a great place to live.
It's beautiful, But it's not untouched, is it? It's
Oh,
not.
yeah, it's certainly not pristine. Right in the middle of it all is a great big steelworks.
I mean, Wollongong's not pristine. There's heaps of industry, and we're here because of mining. And thank you for building Wollongong into the great city it is today. And now we get to take a step in a cleaner, greener future.
Those people who are against this are trying to protect the environment in their own way, aren't they?
Absolutely. I think we're all working really hard to get to the same place, maybe in different ways. And I think we all need to come together and think about how our community can benefit out of this. This is a huge win for Wollongong. And I think the people who maybe weren't so sure about it previously, this is time where you can really get involved in the conversation and think about how the community can benefit. Maybe money for all our public schools. Maybe we could have free EV chargers everywhere forever. Is that possible? Let's go large.
So offshore wind turbines, why should they be here?
Well, why not here? What happens to our kids if every community said not here? I think we need to go for it. They're an awesome answer for our energy problems. I know it's the key to a better future for my kids. We can't be using coal and gas. It's got us this far, and now we have a better option.
What do you say about the cost of living?
Fossil fuels makes the cost of living expensive. A solution is renewables. We know renewables are the cheapest form of energy. This is a win for Wollongong.
We've got so much wind and so much land and so much sun in Australia. Why would you not use them? And plus, it gives jobs.
So if you can make cheaper power with renewables and green jobs, why wouldn't you do it? What does life look like here without offshore wind?
Life in the Illawarra without wind farms in 5 to 10 years won't look great. It'll be depressed. There'll be a lot less jobs, a lot less people.
So what do you reckon it looks like with the wind turbine?
We'll have cheaper electricity, we'll have a guaranteed employment source, we will have guaranteed people here that live in a community that's powered by cheap energy. And there are 3,000 jobs, basically. They are constant jobs. I mean, when they're building them, there are a lot more jobs, but they're ongoing. These offshore winds are going to be ongoing for a long time. It's really, really easy to retrain people. 52% of jobs that are in renewables can be done by coal miners. Like, if you can drive a big machine underground, you can drive a big machine on the surface. If you can dig holes, you can drive a cement truck, you can do all those things that you do underground, you can do with a little bit of on-the-job retraining, you can do in these industries. You can now go to TAFE and find out, whatever stage of your life you're in, how you transition into renewables. Wind farms aren't boom or bust. Wind farms are there. We put them in and they stay there. Steady employment for a community that needs it. Cheaper energy for a community that's crying out for cheaper energy. And cheaper energy for a steelworks that needs to keep going.
Making green steel is actually one of the only ways that the steelworks stays viable and keeps jobs here.
If we stick here with our coal-fired steel, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Once they get onto cheaper steel somewhere else, why would you buy it when it's a lot more expensive? It's a consistent employer. That's really important for this area. Plus, if we don't go to green steel, we might not have a steelworks. We need to keep up with all the technology so that we keep all the jobs here.
So if I get some binoculars right and I can use them and I can clearly see these wind turbines 25 kilometres out, is that going to affect the price of my house?
Look, by having them here, it could well improve the value of your house. But if we don't have them here and people have to leave the area to go and get jobs, that's just going to decrease the price of everything.
Then, therefore, if we don't have jobs in the area, we're going to have to move away for work, right? What do you reckon is going to happen to property prices then?
Yeah, property prices won't be great if people don't get work here anymore.
So while many people want offshore wind here, some don't. What do you say to them?
Well, so many of them already have solar panels and they already have a hybrid or electric vehicle. So I want to thank them for helping us electrify faster. And then wind farms are just the second part of the puzzle that we need, and it's good for everyone because it's cheaper and it helps get heaps of energy on the grid and helps everyone else who hasn't been able to get solar yet.
A lot of people worry about offshore wind. I say to them it's a lot better alternative than continuing to destroy the planet with fossil fuels. There are a lot of concerns. There's the aesthetics of having them out there, as opposed to the aesthetics of those tiny little pencils that'll be out there on the horizon. We'll get used to it, people will get used to it. People are quite happy with coal ships sitting out there. The other concern, I think, is what it's going to do to the marine life. And we really do need to protect it. That's a given, You don't put something in that's going to make it worse.
Well, what's the deal with whales and wind turbines?
Good question. Why don't we get an expert to answer that? Let's call my mate Professor Quentin Hanich. Let's get him on the line.
Oh, listen to the name drop.
Hello.
G'day, Professor Hanich. I've got Ryan here with me, and he's got a couple of questions for you. Can we hit it?
Go for it.
What does science and data actually tell us about wind farms and whales?
At the moment, what we need is more science, and certainly there is no science that demonstrates any significant impact from wind farms and whales.
Would you say that the whales love wind farms then?
I'm not sure if they would love wind farms, but they certainly would prefer them over coal and gas. That's easy.
So could we say that whales would love wind farms probs?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
So what do you think is the best outcome for this community then?
The best outcome for this community here is to work together as a community, come together as a community, so that we get cheaper electricity, so that we keep our steel works here, so that we keep people employed. That's what I think the best outcome for this community is, and those wind farms are an integral part of it.
We need to stop fighting with each other and come together. Offshore wind is the key. This is a golden ticket for Wollongong. I'm envisioning a clean, green Wollongong powered fully on renewable energy. We're going to come together in Wollongong with offshore wind as our solution.